Hello again. We're going to look at now solution to number 5 multiple choice. This comes from, of course, book 1 chapter 2, so the end of book 1, number 5 on page 156. So if you haven't tried this quiz, you shouldn't be, go back and try it first, then look at the solutions, okay? So let's have a look. This is number 5. So how many? Again, we're asked how many. So this is similar to number 2. Now, if you haven't seen, there's a full explanation number 2 of the different systems. You can go back and look at that. But how many solutions? Now, the best way to do that is look at the slopes and y-intercepts. All right. So look at the slopes, and we're going to look at the y-intercepts because that'll tell us. All right. So we're going to find the slopes, and we're also going to find the y-intercepts of each one. So the first one, 2x plus 5y equals 5. Now solving for y. So 5y, subtract 2x from both sides, right? Or move this over and put it here and change the sign, whatever way you want to look at it. Move the 5 over a bit. There you go. Now divide everything by the coefficient of the y term, which is 5. Now divide every term by that, okay, which means y equals negative 2/5 x plus 1. Now the slope here, we'll call it m1, is negative 2/5, right? Remember, the slope is the number in front of x. So there's your slope, all right? And the y-intercept here, we'll call it b1, is equal to the number remaining behind, and that's the plus 1. Okay, so there's our first one. Now repeat that with the other one. So we take the next system, or the next equation in the system, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to take this and solve for y. So we bring this over. Of course, what happens to it? Remember, yeah, that's right, change this to negative, plus, move over to 21. So the only thing that changes sign is the x term. Everything else stays the same. That's the only thing we moved. Now what are you going to do? You're going to divide everything by the coefficient, aren't you? And the coefficient, of course, is 15. So we divide every term by 15 and then reduce where possible. 21 over 15. So these cancel. So you're left with y equals. Now reduce if you can. Yeah, 6 and 15 are both divisible by 3. So if I divide each by 3, divide this term by 3, divide this term by 3, of course I get negative 2 over 5x. And 21 over 15 reduces to, again, divisible by 3. 21 divided by 3 is 7. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So let's look at our second slope. Our second slope, again, is the coefficient of the x term. It's a number in front. So our slope here is negative 2/5, and the y-intercept, you can see, is 7 over 5. Now compare them. So compare your slopes. So when you're asked how many, right, compare your slopes and your y-intercepts. What do you notice? These are equal. Yes, they're the same. And look, your y-intercepts are different. So we have equal slopes, different y-intercepts. So again, if you think of a grid, how can you have equal slopes and different y-intercepts? That means we have, right, parallel lines. So we have something like this happening. If you look at positive 1 is our first intercept, and a negative down 2 over 5, so roughly there. So here's our first line. Okay, and if you look at the next one, 7 over 5, so we have another line with the same slope. So it's going to look something like this. So when you have equal slopes, what do you have? In different y-intercepts, you have parallel lines. And parallel lines have how many solutions? None, because they don't intersect, right? So there's no solutions to this case. None, because we have parallel lines. So equal slopes, different y-intercepts mean parallel lines, therefore no solutions.